Yo, what's good everyone? It's Zigzag here. Welcome back to another GeoGuessr video and welcome to a very interesting video. Today I have 3 challenge maps created by one of the best NMPZ players in the world, that is Yark from Estonia, and we're going to be seeing how I can perform on them today. The first one is called question mark, the second one is called 2 question marks, and the third one is 3 question marks. So let us see how difficult they actually are here. There's no time limit. I can take my time to get the best score I possibly can, and the first one here is indeed very difficult. So it's a dry landscape. We have some interesting trees, maybe not acacia trees, but something like that. We have a fence off to the side here. It looks like the trees make up the fence. So that really reminds me of something maybe in Latin America. The sun feels like it might be in the north of the sky here, right? Because we have this shadow being cast down here to the south. So that makes me think we're in the southern hemisphere somewhere here. That is interesting. I could see Colombia working pretty nicely here. Maybe even Brazil, if it's going to be a really difficult round, maybe Brazil here. I could potentially see like Indonesia on one of these like smaller Nusa islands where it gets quite dry sometimes. That is at least possible. Maybe Sumba Island or maybe like Alor Island or something like that. I could see those as possibilities. But really, the fence is what makes me think most of all that it's Latin America. I think if I was going in a duel, I would guess Colombia here, but I'm really wondering about Brazil, especially because it seems like there might be a bit of red soil in the distance. I don't know. It's a extremely risky guess, but I feel like it actually could be high yield. I don't know, though these trees don't really feel Brazilian. The problem is though, with the sun in the north, Colombia is mostly in the northern hemisphere, not the southern hemisphere, so that does not actually check out. I don't know, I think I actually will go Brazil, but this tree does not feel Brazilian. These are difficult. These are going to be difficult, I can already tell. Could it ever be Kenya? Maybe. Just mentioning it in case. South Africa? Maybe even. I don't know, I'm going to stick with Brazil. It's a risky guess because I don't think this tree here feels Brazilian, but I think the sun is correct, and I think we do see some red soil, so I'm gonna give it a go here. I'm gonna go in, I don't even know where you'd put it. I'm gonna go in Brasilia, and now that is an incredible guess. Guys, this is 100% real. That was actually Brasilia. I don't even know what to say. We could end the video right there, to be honest with you. Like, we seriously could, but okay. Nice stuff. That's one country. Let's see how many in a row we can get. That, I'm just shocked. Is that a durian or a pineapple, or what is that? No, pineapples grow on the ground, don't they? What is this fruit here? That's very interesting to me. Immediately strikes me as potentially Asian here. The road itself kind of looks Asian. The entrance to this house though maybe feels a bit more developed, could be like Australian or American or something like that. Looks like we've got a cactus there. This rock wall, I mean, it could be Australia. It's not out of the question, but it feels very tropical, right? I've never seen this fruit growing anywhere I've been in Australia, at least. 2023 copyright. You know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of Bali. Maybe it's like near some resorts in Bali, and that's why we have like Western looking stuff going on here. I do still like the Asia idea. I could even see like Singapore, Bangkok, potentially, not out of the question, I think. Maybe even like Taiwan, Philippines. I think it's one of those countries I've mentioned. But yeah, the entrance to this house, I don't know, it doesn't really feel Indonesian, so that's kind of my main concern here. A similar kind of situation here. Well, at least like the fence is made of bamboo, so it's got to be somewhere out of the countries I mentioned. Maybe like Taiwan would be pretty legit here, and same with Malaysia, but I'm gonna give Bali a go. I think Bali is potentially a good shout here. I'm gonna go all the way south because I know there's some pretty fancy villas down here. And oh, Durban. Makes sense actually, yeah, with that kind of entrance. But what was that fruit? That's an interesting one. I'm not sure if it was durian or what exactly that was on the tree. If you know, let me know. But let's head through to the next one here. Again, very difficult. We got like holes in the road here. This almost feels like a bit of a Mexican road in a way. A lot of bananas, that could work. We're looking west at a lot of flatness here. The poles seem to be wooden potentially. And the copyright is 2021. That's good because I was considering maybe Kenya, but Kenya does not have Generation 4 from 2021. You know what I actually think of here maybe is like Florida or something like that. The problem with the Florida idea though is that we have like a very poor quality road, which I don't quite understand. The pole top is very hard to make out, but I think it actually fits for the US. So maybe this is just an extremely baity road in the United States. We have ferns as well. Doesn't make sense, to be honest. Florida, or like all the way down on the Mexico border with Texas? Possible. And interestingly, my other idea, if it wasn't there, is actually Malaysia. They're very far apart, unfortunately. Yeah, we have too much rubbish. I think this is too much rubbish for the US. And it could be the Mexican coast, but the longer I look, the less I like it. I think, yeah, if it's Mexico, it's like going to be around Tampico. But I think I'm gonna make the switch here, and I think I'm gonna go for Malaysia. I think it's a decent idea here. Not really sure what's going on with these polls. I'll definitely have a look at them after the round. But I'm actually going to go in outside of Kuala Lumpur here. Let's go for that. And damn it was actually Florida. Wow, so much rubbish, man. And it was one of my ideas the whole time. The polls now make sense. I forgot that, but like I saw this thing, but I forgot that by the time I guessed Malaysia. Like, to be honest, you wouldn't see this in Malaysia, but that's truly a crazy one with the road looking like that, but particularly with so much rubbish. Like, that combination is definitely a wild one. Also, bananas, not particularly something you see in Florida. Same with the fern, so that was definitely a toughie. We're sitting on 5,000. We've had one good guess only. Okay, this looks like Korea or something in Asia, surely. Interesting style of signage there. That doesn't feel particularly Korean. You know what I thought of now is like maybe an interesting round in like Bangladesh or something. The trees could certainly fit with that idea. Oh, we have like a big green shield in the background. Okay, what I also thought of was Guatemala here. What about Guatemala? Maybe we should look for the copyright, because if it's 2017 copyright, then I would definitely be in favor of Guatemala here. It's 2019, so not necessarily. HB is what the entrance here says. The road's blocked off. I think I know what this tree is. I think it's a jacaranda tree. They're more common in the southern hemisphere, to be fair, which is a bit concerning. These big green shields, maybe they're South African again or something. Okay, I got massive Asian vibes at first. Now my two main ideas are Guatemala and South Africa. That is a big switch up, to be sure. Yeah, those signs are tantalizing in the background, man. If only I could see them a bit better. It seems like it's very busy. And we've got like a big green shield and a big blue shield. I think you could see both of those in South Africa. So maybe I will just go Johannesburg here. I don't love it. We already had a South Africa in this seed. Like, surely you wouldn't put two. That would be so interesting. You know what? Screw it. I'm actually going to try Guatemala. I don't think you'd put two South Africas in the seed. If he did, so be it. But I'm going to go Guat here. And it was Manila. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, exact right latitude, to be fair. I mean, it makes sense, right? Yeah, American influenced like highway shields that they have in Philippines. Yeah. Okay, well, that's fine. And moving forward to the last round here. Okay, brown dirt feels European to me, really. It's very like hazy. It could be Uruguay. You do see a lot of such rounds in Uruguay. Is this an Uruguayan bollard? We got yellow on one side and white on the other side. I mean, what even is this thing if it's not? But there's a lot of options here, to be honest. This is very generic. I didn't really love the Uruguay idea, but that seems like a Uruguay bollard. It could even be a mile marker from Philippines, but again, would we have two Philippines? Probably not. This is gonna be something wild, I'm sure of that at least. I think Uruguay is just the standard guess, so I'm tempted not to go there, to be honest. But then my head's kind of empty. I think it looks South American though, this style of sign. So maybe, would it be ever like Death Road area in Bolivia? Hardly. I think this vegetation does not feel right. Brazil, we already had Brazil. Colombia? Maybe Colombia, actually. What about Colombia? Could see it. Don't love it. Could be Poland, could be South Korea. I don't know. I'm gonna go for Uruguay. I think it's actually the most likely after all. And I would go, is it like Rivera? Or is it like one of these like nature parks over here? I'll just try that. And okay, it was southern Brazil. So we had two Brazils in here. That was actually a decent effort, I would say. Round one, this is truly just like, I really just don't know what to say. That is actually just absurd. Yeah. I mean, we kind of vibed it out. What was this thing? Oh, it was just a fence. Bro, but it was panned in a way, right? It was panned like that, so it looked like a bollard thing. It actually helped us get to the closer answer, but definitely a toughie for sure. Well, the red soil makes sense, you know. Okay, and we did guess like right near the Brazilian border, also to be fair to us. So there we go, 8,000 points on the first one. That does not bode well for whatever's coming next. And this is not going to be easy. Okay, we have this species of trees here. Not really sure what they're called, but they're very shaggy, tall trees. These ones are very common in like this area of Southeast Asia. Super common in Sarawak and Sabah. You see them in Indonesia. You see them in like Western Philippines, I feel. It's very developed modern houses here. The cars are Asian. This to me is like Sabah, Sarawak, or Philippines. I think that's really where I'm at with this one. The lamp probably feels more Malaysian, I would say. Yeah. And vibes wise, probably also more Malaysian, especially with Gen 3. That would make sense to me. Can we see what side of the road we're driving? Not really, but it's mostly Japanese car brands, so I do really like the left-hand drive option of Malaysia here. I think I might try Labuan Island, just as an interesting guess here. I would say Sabah is really my idea, so let's give that a go. And it was just Manila again. Yeah, I mean, the kind of American style architecture was more Philippines the whole time, but I'm still happy with my guess there. It's fine. Cut it down to the 50-50. Next one here, lots of eucalypt. No, American feeling road. It's kind of grainy. This feels like Central America, maybe like Mexico, Guat. Lamps are almost like looking a bit like Argentinian style, which is interesting here, the way they're kind of saluting over the road. So it could be Arg here, but the way there's like this like white sand leaking onto the road in a way, that does not feel Argentinian. Though it could be, it definitely just doesn't scream Argentina. I don't know what I really make of this one. The eucalyptus is interesting. I'm almost tempted to go Guatemala again here, but I'm pretty sure it's wrong. I actually will just do it. Yeah, because I'm just not really vibing anything particular here. You know what it could be? What if it was like Costa Rica? That would be truly diabolical. It almost feels like it's in like a... I'm actually gonna go for it. You know why? Because 1, it's not really a familiar climate. 2, the lamps are not really familiar. And 3, it kind of feels like we're in like a park kind of area, like where they've done a lot of the trekkers in Costa Rica. So I'm gonna give that a go. If this is correct, it's swag. And if not, you have to respect the effort, right? So let's see here. And okay, it was just Thailand. Didn't even come to mind, although the shape of the lamp does actually make a lot of sense. But no, Costa Rica and Thailand, sadly, no points there. Next one here. We're inside another eucalyptus forest here. We have a very interesting style of guardrail here. It turns from like a wooden beam into the metal guardrail. That is weird to start. 2023 copyright, big ferns, white road lines. So what are we looking at here? The copyright's wrong, but I thought this might be like Madeira Island. Not really bullish on that, but could also just be like Canaries or something here. I could definitely see that. Otherwise, just a northern Portugal obviously makes sense with this much eucalyptus. I don't particularly believe that this would be Australia. I don't think I've seen us do that with the guardrail, and the road lines and the road just feels a bit wrong, I want to say, but it's going to be embarrassing if it actually is. And then what? Maybe like, it could be like a Mexico City with white lines. That would be extremely devious. Indonesia normally doesn't have eucalyptus like this. As much as Mexico would be kind of a fun guess, I'm thinking I won't go for Mex. And that leads me to want to go somewhere in Asia, but again, the eucalyptus is just concerning. So what do I actually do here? I actually don't pick up a vibe of anything in here. So what I'm gonna do is do a crazy last ditch guess in Mexico here. I'm pretty certain that that is wrong, but I'm kind of resigned to the fact that I have no idea here. In the mountains in Philippines could actually be the case. But again, we've had Philippines in both seeds so far. Unless he's just collecting Philippines rounds all day. I'm gonna go for Mexico City here. Let's see. And okay, Bogota, Colombia. Not too bad. Mexico, Colombia is a standard 50-50. And we had white road lines in the center. Again, like this is just almost never able to be seen. And the reason is that this is actually both of these are the same direction. Both people are driving forwards here. There's no other lane coming the other direction. And that's why they don't have yellow road lines. So very difficult stuff. I think that that is in a way a success. Not going Asia, but you could actually like knock someone out at high multis with that kind of guess in a duel, but it's obviously not optimal. Next one here, Generation 2 inside the banana plantation. Okay. Well. Mexico obviously comes to mind because of Generation 2 in a tropical climate. Other options would be like Hong Kong, Taiwan. Seems like we do have a pretty vast landscape to our west there. Soil's kind of reddish, so with Generation 2, maybe even Japan is not out of the question here. It could be like an India trekker or South Africa or... What about South Africa, actually? Okay, can we get the sun? Sun seems to be pretty above us at the moment, so not really too useful. Hawaii? Could be Hawaii here. Gen 2 Brazil is also pretty fitting with this many bananas and the green hills in the back. Okay, that almost fits better than anything I've thought of so far, actually. You know what? It could be Australia. Also not another question. You do get sometimes banana plantations like this in Oz. So there you go. I've pretty much told you all the possibilities. Now I gotta make my decision. Classic plantation round. I don't know. I think out of everything, I like the Brazil idea. It's kind of novel and fun. They did quite a bit of Gen 2 around Belo Horizonte, so I guess, you know, with bananas, that would also at least theoretically fit. I'll give that a go. And it was Australia. Yeah. I thought if it was going to be Australia, it would be around Coffs Harbour because they do grow a lot of bananas there. The problem was I saw quite a bit of rubbish in here. And again, yeah, quite a lot of rubbish, to be honest. So I think it's just the bags that fall off the trees, but regardless, that always leans me away from developed countries. But, you know, it doesn't always work, of course. These stereotypes are only ever going to be true most of the time, not all the time. And could have gone there. Honestly, could have gotten that, though. And the final one here immediately reminded me of maybe like up in Yucatan or something like that. But I feel like that would be the easy answer, so it's probably not. What about like a crazy Singapore or something like that? I don't know. It's just going to be some random tropical looking forest somewhere that's not actually tropical, probably. It could just as easily be like Slovenia or something as well, you know? These kind of white spots on the trees normally says tropical, but sometimes it's just lying. It could be like Italy as well or something. I don't know. I kind of like the Europe idea here just as a wild card because we haven't had any EU yet. Just going for Italy kind of. Because why not, you know? I mean, the undergrowth here does not feel that tropical, but yeah, I mean, it still should be. What about like a Christmas island? Would that be too insane? Like a Christmas island trekker here? I could see that. I could. I don't think it's correct, but I like to go for the fun guesses in these sometimes. Let's go for Christmas island. It could be the correct answer. When it was Kenya, yeah, I was never gonna get that. That's just way too difficult. 2,800 points there. We got 2 guesses in the ballpark. Everything else was very far apart, so yeah, not too much to say there, but let's head through to the triple question marks and see if we can at least get one correct. Okay, first one. Oh, this is familiar. I think I've seen this road before somewhere. Not that that's really going to help me get where it is because it's probably very difficult. 2023 copyright. No, I don't remember. I've definitely had this in a video before though. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. It looks like Asia to me. Maybe like Indonesia, Philippines, Taiwan, Hong Kong, something like that. I don't know though. What is it, man? I know this. I'm gonna be kicking myself on this one. Maybe it's like a hilly Bangladesh? Could that make sense? I don't hate that, you know. I feel like definitely the standard idea is just more so down here, but what about a hilly Bangladesh? You gotta try something sometimes. And it was just on the border with Guatemala. Maybe I don't know that. Looks very similar to something we had in this series before, but 15,000 kilometers away. Next one here, red soil with a lot of like palm going on for sure. That's interesting. It's also 2020 copyright. That means it is older coverage, which is somewhat helpful. For example, you wouldn't see that in Sri Lanka or Philippines, but you could see it in Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia. Yeah, I'm unsuccessfully trying to vibe this vegetation. Not too sure what's going on. If I just looked at the soil, I would kind of like Bangka Belitung because you kind of have this like white sand mixed with the red sand. You do see that a lot there, but I think the palm stuff that's going on here just does not feel like that, unfortunately. But then again, I just don't know what it feels like at all. If anything, it felt like maybe like a Caribbean island, but there's just nothing with Gen 4 out there. Turkey seems all but impossible. Australia? I'm not a believer, unfortunately, although it is technically possible as well. Don't know where this is. I think that I will try, though, in Malaysia. No, it's so wrong, man. Let's go Indonesia. Just the fact that this is Gen 4. Like, if this was Gen 3, I would have lots of ideas, but I'm just fully stumped here. Like, what the heck is actually going on? I think actually Mexico or Indonesia. Maybe Mex is actually better here. We just had Mexico, though. Gosh damn it. It looks like Mexico again. No, I'm sticking with Indonesia. I have no idea where this would be, though. Let's go, let's just go Jakarta. And it was Roraima. How does this even exist? It's like a resort or something. Let's see what this looks like from the other direction, because that's a truly spectacular round. I mean, yeah, this direction I think is at least gettable, especially if you come out like that, of course, but this road is, how have I never seen this before? This is a truly special road. Very good choice there. I like the round, but unfortunately 0 points again. Next one here. Okay, this is obviously meant to look like Israel or something like that. Israel or Turkey or something. We got eucalyptus. We got small trees on the hill. I think it looks like Turkey and it's actually Israel or something like that is my idea. I think it's one of the two. If this is like California or something, that's too wild. But yeah, the little trees on the hill, the eucalyptus mixed in there. Yeah, maybe more Israel, or it's like you go Israel on Spain or something like that, you know. I think I have to go Israel. I think that's really the optimal choice here. If this is Mexico or the US, then I'm gonna be so annoyed. Suns to the north? Wait, suns to the north. It really feels like suns to the north here. That would put us southern hemisphere. Oh no. Chile? Nah. Seriously? No. Seriously? Australia would just be diabolical. Is it actually Australia? It almost looks like we're driving left-hand side of the road as well, right? Oh my gosh. Why are we in the southern hemisphere? That's what I'm not computing here. It pretty much has to be Australia or Chile then. Or maybe I'm just miscalculating the sun. That honestly seems more likely to me, because if this is Australia, then it's just truly too wild. I'm gonna go Israel. It's really my best option here, I think, though it still kind of sucks. I'm just ready to find out at this point. And it's Turkey. It just looks like Turkey the whole time. But I guess the sun was kind of baity. I think on an actual country streak, I would get that correct, actually. I don't know, maybe I would go one of the two on just a standard round. But anyway, good. Good, we got some points. We actually, I think, beat our score from last time already, which is great. Next one here immediately feels Chilean with this fence. So it probably isn't Chile, but I think I'll just try it. You know, the vegetation is baity, but it still fits. And that's like the first time I've actually felt like somewhat comfortable with the guess. It still could be like Colombia or Mexico as well. And there are, to be honest, numerous other options. What's the copyright here? I wasn't able to find it, but I'm still gonna stick with my guns here. Like last time I didn't trust my gut about the Turkey, like, kind of landscape. This time I'm gonna go downtown Temuco, and it was Florence, no less. Very difficult one there, out on some tiny road, but just a normal Italian road with a very interesting fence, mind you. And some interesting pink flowers. That's what kind of sent me away from Europe here initially. But yeah, obviously facing this direction, not a particularly difficult round with the Italian plate there. Nonetheless, a very fun round, and we head through to round 5, which... Okay, so immediate like reaction to the landscape is like North America, but the way we have these kind of lines in the pavement makes me think this is Korea. Is that crazy to say? I could see Korea here. Like there's nothing about these trees that can't be Korea. And the road is extremely pale as well. I think if it's US, it's like Kentucky, Tennessee. That's kind of the road I would expect to see there. But I'm gonna say this is just Korea. I'm gonna say it. You know, it's known to be my weakest country. It still is. It still probably will be for even if I have this correct. But that's my vibe here. And I think with this kind of road surface, if we're wrong as well, then I would think Europe. And I would say then maybe like a Slovenia, an Italy, maybe like a North Spain even. Could see that happening. I mean, the undergrowth does look somewhat European, doesn't it? But I'm gonna say with the grooves in the road, Korea. Let's go. Gosh damn it. South Russia. Well, 3,000 points. Didn't really go much better than the last one. Just one good region guess. This does make sense in hindsight. Oh, it's a very Asian looking road. It really is. Like, I don't think you'd see this in Europe very often. So that is definitely a cool round. But that is it for the video. Yark, thank you for the maps. Were very enjoyable, I would say. Very enjoyable. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, playing along. And yeah, guys, I will see you guys in a video very soon. So thank you for watching. And until next time, goodbye.